Hello and welcome to the 45th episode of Williams Whiteboard. As I always do, I'd like to take a quick moment just to say thank you to all of you that have come by, watched the videos, left comments, and shared. I really appreciate the shares. So on this 45th episode, we're going to talk about the concept of PALT tracking. Yes, that dreaded four-letter word, PALT, Procurement Administrative Lead Time. We're going to talk about something that happened last month and the implications or the likely implications of that activity. So last month, got something I want to read to you. On January 14th of 2021, there's an OMB memo that came out from the Executive Office of the President. It is a memorandum for Chief Acquisition Officers and Senior Procurement Officials. From the administrator, the subject, reducing procurement administrative lead times using modern business practices. Okay. OMB memo that says we're going to start tracking PALTs. Okay. So OMB memo, we'll make sure we have it for you, on 14 January 21 is the Executive Office of the President OMB memo that talks about tracking PALT. Okay. Tracking PALTs. Okay. Now, one good thing that comes out of the memo is the definition. Definition of PALT. Okay. This has been a debate that's been raging ever since I heard the word PALT some 20, 25 years ago. Okay. In the memo, it defines PALT as from release of and public release of solicitation all the way to contract award. Okay? As definitions go, not a bad definition. Here's the challenge. This time frame from public release of the solicitation, RFP, RFQ, okay, to contract award is actually one of the most structured phases. Okay? Proposals go out in a certain time frame. They're on the street for, solicitations go out for a certain amount of time. Proposals come back on a certain amount of time. The evaluation is sequestered for a certain amount of time. And contract award happens, okay, in a certain amount of time. The one curveball are protests. And even that period is framed by 100 days. This is one of the most structured phases, okay, of the procurement process. Now, anyone that has done procurement knows that it isn't this that should be tracked, okay, or that the tracking of this phase from public release to contract award, while it may be helpful for information, it's not manageable with that information. Here's where the value proposition is. It's upstream and to the left from the demand signal to the need identification to the requirements definition, and then the abstract phase. This is the black hole. This is where time goes to die, okay? From this process, this is really where the putting something on the clock could actually be helpful. Okay. Reviewing this, okay, and what the memo says is we're going to use FPDSNG to track. Okay. So we've got the tracking mechanism and we've got a definition of what we're going to track. But sadly, in my opinion, this is a lagging indicator. Okay. This is a lagging indicator. The effectiveness of your strategy is a lagging indicator. The leading indicator is the work on the strategy. Okay. And defining the requirement. Okay. So, to all of my CPOs out there and all of my senior procurement executives out there and all of the contracting officers that are going to be now required to track PALTs from the time of public release to contract award, please know what the motivations and incentives are. It's going to be to shrink this time frame. Okay. But sadly, it is here, this requirements black hole is where the greatest suck of time occurs from demand signal all the way through to getting your acquisition strategy in place and having something to actually put on the street. This is Williams Whiteboard, and this is the concept of PALT tracking. The OMB memo is very clear what's going to be required. And my ask for my community is simply to understand what's being asked of you and be compliant, but know this is where the time harvesting, the time savings can be achieved, can actually be achieved. Put this requirement on the clock, and I'm pretty sure you will see growth and speed to market and speed of evolution of the procurement process happen, and your contract awards will come out better. Thank you so very much for your time. And as I always say, when you're dealing with a problem and you don't know what to do, grab a whiteboard and a couple set of markers and get after it. All the best. Be well.